For our third installment in the sign miracles in the book of John, we're looking at Jesus' feeding of the 5,000. Now, you look at this and you see Jesus feeding and you think, oh, he cares about the people. Look what he does. He's feeding the masses. And that's true. That's true. I don't want to take away from that because he does care about people. In a different gospel, he says, hey, these people are hungry. We need to feed them. And so we understand there is that compassion element there. But if that is all you understand from his feeding of the 5,000 was that Jesus is concerned with feeding the hungry, you're missing the point entirely. John puts together the events of his gospel to prove a point. The point that Jesus is the Christ. Now, in chapter 5, when he picked a fight with the Pharisees, it comes down to Moses and them claiming Moses and him saying, no, you don't believe Moses, because if you believe Moses, you would believe me because he spoke about me. So that sets the stage for what comes up in chapter 6. You're reading through. If you're reading straight from 5 to 6, you now got Moses on your mind. And then he feeds the 5,000. And as he feeds the 5,000, the people say, wow, surely this is the prophet who was said to come. Prophet? What prophet was said to come? Jump back to Deuteronomy, and you have Moses saying, a prophet will come like me. And so now you have this continued Moses imagery going on. And then Jesus gets into it with the people, and they're saying, hey, Moses gave us bread from heaven. What are you going to give us? And he says, no. That bread didn't come from Moses. It came from God, which, by the way, is where I come from because I am the bread from heaven. The bread that Moses sent, you ate it. It didn't fill you. I will fill. I will satisfy. I am the bread of life. And so we see all through here this pointing back to Moses, because the Jews, that's their prophet, the main guy they point back to. And Jesus is looking, going, see that? Where Moses talked about what Moses did, it all pointed to me because I am the bread of life. You want to be saved? You hunger spiritually? I'm the only thing that's going to fill you. And if you look in this passage where he's talking to these people, from about verse 22 to 40, somewhere in that area, there is no less than 6 times that Jesus makes a reference that he is come down from heaven. He is the bread sent from heaven. He has come from heaven over and over again. And so this whole scenario surrounding the feeding of the 5,000 is not just because he wants to feed hungry people. No, he cares about people. But he's making the point. He's pointing back to Moses saying, hey, the way God provided for you bread in the desert, I am the bread to fill the desert of your soul. I am the bread of life come down from heaven. And over again we see that. And he is showing forth even more that he is the Christ, as John set out to prove. He didn't just do a miracle to feed some people. He did a miracle in this situation to show who he is, that he is the Christ. He is the one prophesied, and he has come down from heaven. No mere man, but he has come to take away the sins and call sinners to repentance. That's who Jesus is.